Hi, I'm Jane. I'm a social worker and a yoga facilitator, and today I'm inspired to talk to you about boundaries. Welcome to this present moment. I think boundaries are so important to navigate with intention toward increasing mental health and true adulting. Boundaries. And the reason that they're so difficult is we all have like a blueprint within us of what we are shown and even taught about boundaries, that the teachings are faulty, the demonstrating is faulty, meaning all of us come from childhood where our parents didn't get it quite right. Let me give you a for instance. And so I believe that poor boundaries are passed down from generation to generation. Most often, our parents, their intention isn't to hurt us, and yet they do through this mistake around honoring boundaries. So I'll give you a couple of examples. So for instance, are you from a family who tells you there's only one way to go through life? Toward this perfectionist, maybe cisgender, straight, lawyer, doctor, just one way to go through life, then you're going to show up in this moment perhaps as a person that feels like they're never good enough. And I honor you, my friends, in this moment, because those are interjects, they're messages, they're not truths. And it takes persistent practice to come into this present moment and honoring yourself, honoring who you are versus who somebody expects you to be. That's a boundary violation. Because of neuroplasticity, or the science that the brain and nervous system changes with practice over time, you can come to balance or equanimity with who and how you want to be on this planet. But you have to keep showing up for yourself, and you have to keep self-evaluating. Am I doing this for them or for me? This isn't a selfish question. This is a full self, honoring yourself. Another example of a boundary violation is if you were a child that came from a home with alcoholism or depression where you were a very young caretaker. This becomes a boundary violation because you did what you needed to do as a child, but perhaps today as an adult, you're showing up with this fawning, F-A-W-N, fawning instinct of taking care of others at the expense of yourself because it's what you know. My friends, deep compassion for you. You want to slow down your gut response to care for others and first self-soothe. When we care for others out of angst, which is fawning, we get depleted. So you want to do this self-evaluation process through a deep breath in through the nose, settle, ground into the present moment, and ask those difficult questions. Is this right for me? You have a right to know your yes. You have a right to say your no. And we forget that. You have a right to show up in your true self. And we begin to think we have to show up for others. I'm looking at this hula hoop behind me, and I brought it out as a metaphor for our work together today. This is a metaphorical boundary. Just feel it around you now. Actually, I'll put it like this. So feel the boundary of this hula hoop right now. Take a deep breath in through the nose and calm your nervous system in this moment. I'm only lifting it up because it's weighted, it's heavy, and I'm going to keep it here for us. Ask yourself the difficult questions. Do I really want to do this? Do I really need to say that? Inside the layers of and patterns of being the way you used to have to be are answers coming from a truth. And we want to honor that truth. And we only get to do that by slowing down in body, mind, and spirit and asking, what is my truth right here and now? Do I want to say yes? Do I want to say no? Even our boundaries with self, rest and doing. Honoring yourself. I need to rest now. And assuming I know we're all working very hard. but the body needs to rest, to rejuvenate. And we push beyond exhaustion. That's a self-boundary violation. So thank you, neuroplasticity, or the science of the ability for the brain and nervous system to change over time with persistence and practice. We can relate to boundaries increasingly healthy. And this is a journey. So for the rest of our lives, we will meet people that will overshare or will overfawn, take care of, or will feel like, I wish I would have said something. Come home to self. Come find out your answers. Forgive yourself for not getting it quite right, and just begin again. This growing up into healthy boundaries is a constant showing up of beginning again and trying to get it right. So there is, in Choreograph Your Wellness, an ebook, there's a whole unit on boundaries. It's chapter 4. And if you have any questions about your own relationship to boundaries, I'm here for it. So you can ask questions in the show notes. Remember that there's no perfect place to get it right, but if you don't ask the hard questions and you keep repeating not getting it quite right, you won't feel as good about yourself. We feel good about ourselves when we ask the hard questions and come up with those answers. So let me put this down so I can give you a proper namaste. So this is thumbs into sternum, elbows are raised. May we continue to navigate our boundaries by asking the hard questions and choosing moment to moment, person to person, experience to experience, what is right for me. Self-soothe first, my friends, and then come up with your answers. I'll see you again soon. Have a wonderful day.